Hello, welcome back. The world of Christian media is often revered for its message of faith, love, and unity. Christian networks, such as Daystar Television Network, have gained substantial viewership through their programming, focusing on spreading messages that align with the Christian faith. However, the public-facing, godly image of such organizations often masks the complexities, conflicts, and struggles that occur behind the scenes. One such story that has deeply resonated with many people is the heart-wrenching situation surrounding Daystar Television, its co-founder Joni Lamb, and the silencing of two individuals, Rebecca and JW. What began as an inspiring and promising involvement in the ministry turned into a tale of heartbreak, betrayal, and eventual silencing. Daystar Television, founded by Marcus and Joni Lamb in 1997, quickly became one of the largest Christian television networks in the world. It grew from a small broadcast venture to a global ministry that reached millions of homes, offering inspirational content, Christian teachings, and an array of programs focused on uplifting the faith of viewers. As the network grew, so did the prominence of its founders, Marcus and Joni Lamb. Their leadership and vision for the network placed them at the forefront of Christian media, attracting both admiration and scrutiny. Joni Lamb, in particular, became known for her ability to connect with viewers and her deeply personal and passionate approach to ministry. However, with such visibility came the inherent complexities of managing not just a global network, but also the personal relationships within it. Rebecca and JW were both individuals who had significant interactions with Daystar Television in various capacities. Rebecca was a former employee and contributor to the network's programming, someone who had been involved in multiple projects aimed at promoting the Christian faith and spreading the gospel. JW was also involved in the network's inner workings, contributing to the growth and success of the ministry in different ways. Both Rebecca and JW had ambitions of working within Daystar's framework, with the goal of helping spread the message of Christianity and faith. However, as they became more closely involved with the Lamb family and the network, they began to notice troubling patterns within the organization that would eventually lead to their silencing and exclusion. What started as a shared vision for promoting God's message of love and healing began to unravel as they grew disillusioned with how the network's leadership functioned, especially the way that the Lamb family managed relationships within the organization. Rebecca and JW both felt strongly that they could make a real impact on Daystar's ministry. But soon, their voices were marginalized and their concerns dismissed. As Rebecca and JW's involvement with Daystar grew, they began to notice certain patterns within the organization that troubled them. At first, it was subtle a lack of transparency in decision-making, moments when the supposed values of love, integrity, and transparency felt hollow, and incidents where their contributions were not properly acknowledged or appreciated. But over time, these concerns grew into a sense of disillusionment as they witnessed how Daystar operated behind closed doors. Both Rebecca and JW began to recognize that Daystar's image, both to the public and within the ministry itself, did not match the reality they were experiencing. They became particularly concerned with how decisions were being made, how personal relationships were handled, and how some of the network's practices seemed to betray the values it so boldly espoused on television. At this point, Rebecca and JW were in a precarious situation both professionally and emotionally. As employees or contributors within Daystar, they relied on the network for their livelihood, yet their growing discomfort with how things were run put them in a difficult position. Their voices were increasingly stifled, and the moments when they tried to speak up were often met with silence, or worse, passive-aggressive retaliation. They soon realized that the promises of Christian values they had once been so eager to embrace were not as straightforward as they appeared. Instead, they were becoming part of a larger, more complicated narrative, one that prioritized maintaining the public image of the Lamb family and Daystar above all else, including the well-being and concerns of individual staff members. As Rebecca and JW continued to voice their concerns, the silencing process began. It was subtle at first, moments of exclusion from important discussions or decisions. As they tried to raise issues with leadership, their concerns were dismissed or trivialized. They were told to be patient, to trust in the leadership of Marcus and Joni Lamb, and to keep their criticisms to themselves for the sake of the greater ministry. However, as the tensions escalated, Rebecca and JW soon found them